Welcome to the Binge. We're here because the world is a series of interconnected, brightly colored lies, and I've decided to peel back the tape. This isn't a lecture, it's an autopsy. We're going to take a common object, a standard thought, or a global habit, and we're going to open it up on the table and see why it hums, why it breaks, and who exactly is profiting from the wreckage. Tonight, the high-voltage, soul-crushing, and oddly crunchy history of the common light bulb. Let's go.
It's the Binge Podcast where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast. Come join us fast.
Look at a light bulb. Go ahead, unscrew one if you don't mind sitting in the dark for a second. It's a vacuum-sealed glass teardrop, a fragile little dome that contains a captured lightning bolt. We take it for granted. We flip a switch and the darkness retreats like a kicked dog. We've conquered the night, or so we tell ourselves, while we sit under a flickering 60-watt hum that's slowly bleaching the retinas out of our skulls. But here's the kicker, the fundamental lie of your hardware store. The light bulb is the birthplace of the modern conspiracy. Before the light bulb, we lived by the sun. We slept when it was dark because candles were expensive, smelled like rendered fat, and tended to burn your house down if the cat got frisky. Then a few guys with high foreheads and even higher bank accounts decided that the sun was an inefficient business partner. They wanted a world where the factory floor never went dark, where the human animal could be milked for productivity 24 hours a day. We didn't just invent a light source, we invented the graveyard shift. We turned ourselves into a species that works against the celestial clock. In 1924, a group of men met in a smoke-filled room in Geneva. They didn't wear capes, but they should have. This was the Phobos Cartel. They looked at the light bulb, which at the time was being perfected to last for thousands upon thousands of hours, and they realized they had a problem. The problem was quality. If you make a light bulb that never breaks, you eventually run out of people to sell light bulbs to. It's a dead-end street for profit. If the product is too good, the company dies. So these gentlemen representing the biggest names in global electrics signed a pact. They didn't just share tech, they actively sabotaged it. They mandated that every light bulb produced by a cartel member had to burn out after exactly 1,000 hours. They had engineering committees whose sole job was to find ways to make filaments more fragile. If a factory produced a light bulb that lasted 1,500 hours, they were fined heavily. It was the birth of planned obsolescence. We were sold a future where things were designed to die so that the dividends could live forever. It is the architectural blueprint for every smartphone that slows down after 2 years and every nylon stocking that runs if you look at it sideways. We're living in a trash heap built by design. There is a light bulb in a fire station in Livermore, California. It's called the Centennial Light. It's been burning since 1901. It's a hand-blown carbon filament relic that has outlasted 3 webcams, several generations of firefighters, the Soviet Union, and the entire Phobos Cartel. It's the middle finger of the 19th century pointing directly at our modern, landfill-bound civilization. It shouldn't exist. According to the math of the last 100 years, that bulb is a mathematical impossibility. It's a glitch in the matrix of consumerism. It sits there, dim and orange, whispering the truth. We could have had a world of things that lasted, but we chose a world of things that break so we could keep the gears of the machine greased with our own frustration. We've traded durability for growth, which is just a polite word for turning resources into garbage as fast as humanly possible. There is a specific clinical coldness to how we light our lives now. We've moved from the warm, honey-thick glow of the incandescent, which was basically just a piece of metal getting so hot it glowed with the passion of a dying star, to the twitchy blue light madness of the LED. It's a transition that would make a cinematographer for a gritty prison drama weep. We have traded the soul of the spectrum for efficiency. We live in a world lit by tiny, flickering diodes that are basically high-speed strobes. You don't see the flicker, but your brain does. Your brain is sitting there processing a million tiny on-off cycles every minute, wondering why you have a headache and a vague sense of impending doom. It's the visual equivalent of a mosquito buzzing in your ear, constant, irritating, and impossible to ignore once you notice it. We've flooded homes with 4,000K daylight bulbs that trick our pineal glands into thinking it's high noon in the Sahara when it's actually 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. We're a species of confused primates living in a permanent state of noon. We've effectively deleted the sunset. The sunset used to be a biological trigger, a signal to start producing melatonin, to slow down, to prepare for the long dark. Now we just blast our retinas with the blue light equivalent of a triple espresso and wonder why we're all anxious, sleep-deprived wrecks. We aren't evolved for this. We are nocturnal ghosts haunting our own living room, staring at glowing rectangles while under the glare of glowing circles. It's a feedback loop of neurological exhaustion. And then there were the CFLs, those curly fry bulbs that were supposed to save the planet. Remember those? The ones that contain just enough mercury to make a hazmat suit seem like a reasonable fashion choice if you dropped one on the kitchen tile. We were told to go green by bringing a neurotoxin into our nurseries. If a CFL broke, the EPA instructions were like a script from a disaster movie. Evacuate the room, open the windows, don't use a vacuum, unless you want to aerosolize the poison. Use duct tape to pick up the glass and pray to whatever gods of environmentalism you still believe in. It's the ultimate irony. We tried to save the world by filling our trash cans with heavy metals. We traded a bit of energy for a lot of poison, and we did it because the marketing was shiny. We've become remarkably good at solving one problem by creating 3 much weirder ones. Let's talk about the filament for a second. In an old-school bulb, you're looking at tungsten. Tungsten has the highest melting point of all known elements in their pure form. 3,422 degrees Celsius. It's a stubborn, resilient metal. It wants to stay solid. But when we run current through it, we are essentially subjecting it to a slow-motion suicide. The atoms evaporate off the wire and settle on the glass. That's why old bulbs get that dark, smoky tint. Eventually, the wire gets too thin, the heat gets too high, and pop! The circuit is broken, the light goes out. There's something profoundly poetic about that. We created a device that works by slowly destroying itself. It's the perfect metaphor for the modern lifestyle. Burning bright, burning fast, and leaving a scorched carcass behind. Because we can light up the night, we do. We light up the streets, the parking lots, the sides of skyscrapers, and the empty car dealerships. We have created a light dome over our cities that's so bright that most people living today have never actually seen the Milky Way. We have severed our connection to the cosmos for the sake of security and shopping. We used to look up and see the terrifying, infinite depth of the universe, which kept our egos in check. Now we look up and see a hazy orange smog. We've traded the stars for street lamps. And don't get me started on the birds. Billions of migratory birds get confused by our artificial suns, crashing into glass towers or circling stadium lights until they drop from exhaustion. We're literally blinding the rest of the planet so we can keep the 7-Eleven visible from space. The irony is that we treat the light bulb as a symbol of a good idea. In every cartoon, when a character realizes something, a bulb appears over their head. But the light bulb isn't a good idea. It's a trap. It's the tether that keeps us tied to the grid. It's the device that allowed the 40-hour work week to turn into the 80-hour work week. It's the reason you can see the mess in your house at 11 p.m. when you should be dreaming of something better. We are the only animals on Earth that pay a monthly subscription fee for the privilege of seeing. We've commodified the very concept of vision. We've outsourced our circadian rhythms to the electric company. And the next time your smart bulb requires a firmware update just so you can find the bathroom in the middle of the night, or your connected lighting system goes down because the Wi-Fi is acting up, just remember, the Phobos cartel is laughing in their graves. We didn't just buy the bulb, we bought the cage it's hanging in. We are sitting in the glow of a century-old scam, wondering why we can't sleep. That's the show. Go flip the switch and sit in the dark for a minute. Try to remember what the night actually feels like before the grid pulls you back in. Let your eyes adjust to the shadows. Try to find the edge of the room without the help of $1 billion infrastructure. Or don't. Just buy the 4-pack of cheap LEDs, ignore the flicker, and try not to think about the mercury. This has been The Binge. See you when the cravings hit again. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe.
Tune in right now. Got stories to tell, from the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. Right now, got stories to tell, from the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. Where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast. Tune in right now. Got stories to tell, from the small to the grand, all under one spell. We talk about this, we laugh about that, from the strange to the bliss. Get ready to chat. It's the Binge Podcast, where everything's a blast. It's the Binge Podcast, come join us fast.